Welcome to today's lesson, lesson 1.4. Said strong mathematicians can identify the place value of numbers to 1 million. We had a previous lesson on place values up to 1,000. Now we're expanding it all the way to 1 million. So now you take out your notebooks and a pencil and start writing out today's notes for this lesson. We'll start with looking at place value. Said the value assigned to a place that a digit occupies in a number. So we've looked at things that we started with in the hundreds, tens, and ones. We started in this column. And now we're going to look a little bit more into the next column. So this is called the ones group. Notice there's ones, tens, and then hundreds. So we see right here this part of the number is 913. If that's all that was there, we'd be fine. But now the number's gotten even bigger. So now we look at the next bank of numbers that are in this area here. That's called the thousand groups. Notice all of these digits have the word thousand in them, and they kind of take the responsibility of matching this one. Notice 10,000. Here we just have tens. The next one, 8, stands for 100,000 because it's in the 100,000 place value. So we have ones, tens, hundreds. Now our new group, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. And we continue to the next place value set of grouping. It's the millions group. Notice there's millions, millions, and millions. And we still have that same pattern of here's the introductory one. Then we've got 10 million and 100 million. So we have 7 million is that place value. We have 5 10 millions, which would be 50 million. And then we have 200 million of the place value. So this ginormous number right here, which I wish I had in my bank account, 257,864,913. So notice the way we say, we just kind of say it in groups. We had this group first with the millions group. Then we have our next group with the thousands group. And our last one with our ones group. You'll notice the big thing is that you'll see is the not the parentheses, said the commas that separate our place values. So after every 3, starting from the right, is a comma. This comma separates a separation in groups. So we have the ones group, here's the thousand group, and then this would be the millions group. You might have heard of billions and trillions. They repeat that same idea. They're just bigger and bigger numbers. But right now we're working on into the thousands place value up to a million this year. As we said before, we've seen in earlier lessons, we're now going to write each number in expanded form. So the first thing I would do is I would say each number. 32,568. Excellent. I know expanded form is we take each place value by itself. So I'm going to start with the 3. And then the rest of the numbers turn to 0 because it's in the 10,000 place value. I'm going to add that to my 2, which is in the 2,000. I'm going to add that to my 5, which is in the 500. Add that to my 6, which is in the 10 place, which would make 60. And 8. So 32,568 would be 30,000 plus 2,000 plus 500 plus 60 plus 8. I have 820,149. So notice I have 6 place values, but we notice that one of them is a 0, so we can talk about that when we get to write it out. I'm going to start with my 100,000, my biggest one first, so I have 8. Then all of these numbers then turn to 0, so I would have 800,000 plus, now I go to my next number, 2, which is in the 10,000 place. So I have a 2, and then these would all turn to 0, so I would have 4 zeros there. And now we have the next place value, which is a 0. We can do 2 things. We know 0 doesn't mean anything, so we could put that in there. Or in the same regards, we could put a 0 and then in the thousands place. You can either include this one or you don't have to. Both would be acceptable. I can then move on. My 1 is in the hundreds, so that means I would have 100 plus the 4s in the tens, so we have 40 plus 9. So that's going from a standard form to expanded form. So write these down in your notebook right now to help you out with some examples. So the next one, we're reading and write each number in standard form. So we're putting these numbers together in just a straight number. So notice I have 700,000 plus 50,000 plus 3,000 plus 200 plus 90 plus 6. So I'm going to start with my biggest number, 7, because that's my 100,000. Now I say, do I have anything in this 10,000 place value? Yes, I do, my 5. So my 5 would go next. Do I have any thousands? Yep, I have a 3 right here. 3 would be my thousands place value. Now I can put my comma since I'm getting out of the thousands. And now I'm into the ones place value. So I have 296. So I have 753,296. Right here now I have 300,000, 3,000, plus 10, plus 9. I have a 6-digit number here, but I don't have 6 place values, so I know some of them are going to be zeros. So I'm going to start with my 3 for my 300,000. Do I have any 10,000s? Nope, this is just 3,000, so I have no 10,000, so I have to put the 0 in there to hold the 10,000 place value. I now have 3,000, so that would be then my next place value. Do I have any hundreds? Nope, no hundreds, so that needs to be a 0 as well to hold that place. A 1 and a 9, so that number add up will be 303,019. Now notice we have in word form going to standard form, 563,000. So what I like to do is I like to say 563. I can write that. When I see the word thousand, that reminds me that I'm going to need a comma, because thousands is a grouping of numbers. And then 52. Well, I can't just put 52 there because I know each place value group has 3 digits. So 52, that means there are 0 hundredths, 5, and 2. So I have 563,052. So you can pause the video right now and write these notes in your notebook as well. And last but not least, we're going from reading out each number in word form. So we're going from a number, and we're going to put them in a word form. These numbers, to me, look like they're in expanded form. It's a lot easier to write these in standard form before I write them in a word form. So I'm going to take it from expanded to standard, then to where to help me out personally. So I have 600,000, so I have a big 6 there. Do I have anything in the 10,000? Yep. I got a 10,000. I got 1,000. I got 100. I got a 10, and I don't have a 1, so I need to put a 0 there to mark that spot. Now I would say this number to myself. I'd say it in groups. I start with this first grouping. Said right here, I'd say that would be 600, 34, and then I would say, then I look at and address this comma, which would be 1,000. And then I do the next grouping just right here, 700, and 30. So I would say the number would be 634,730. So we'll try one more. Same thing, same strategy. I know I have a 6-digit number, but I don't have 6 different place values, so I know some of them are going to be zeros. So I'm going to start with my 2 for my 200. Do I have any 10,000s? This is 3. That's not a 10, so that would be a 0. I said this is already a 3,000. Do I have any hundreds? Nope, no hundreds, so it has to be a 0. And then 86. So I have 203. So 203. And now I have the comma, so that would be 1,000, because that's the 1,000 place group. 86. So that's right now. You can pause the video and put these into your notebook as examples to use as you continue on through this lesson. So now it's your turn, so you can draw another line in your notebook, and right now you can add these in there and try them out. So it says read and write each number in expanded form. You have 45,763, and you have 703,070. So obviously saying those numbers first out loud to yourself and repeating those numbers, then writing them in expanded form is a great strategy. So pause this section right now and give it your best chance to see what you can do. The next set of examples is now read and write each number in standard form. So you're going to have some that are expanded, some that are in word form, and your goal is to go to standard form. Remember, if you're not sure what standard form is, refer back to earlier in your notebook where your notes are to use that as your definitions to help guide you to help you out. And also to look at your examples. So you can pause the video now and try these. Last but not least, you're going to the word form. So you're read and write these numbers in word form. Remember, these are in expanded form. Sometimes we find it's easier if we go to standard first from expanded and then from standard to word form. Give these a shot in your notebook right now. So pause the video, do your best work. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to jot those down. Also, if you come up with some other strategies besides the ones that I taught, feel free to jot those down as well, as those are great things to share with your classmates who may be struggling with these topics as well.